There we are. Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. I am running, as always, just trying to get things done in time to get set up for this live stream. For whatever reason, I seem to always run late. But, good, audio's working. But I'm here, so good to be here. It's Wednesday night. If you don't know what that is, if this is your first time here, then it's question and answer night, basically. I take questions. We talk about them. There's some really cool people in the chat that will also help answer questions. And yeah, so for fun, we're gonna unbox this, which is the, come on baby, maybe, nope. Anyway, we're gonna unbox this right here. This is how I can do it. The Tamron 11-20 f2.8, and we're gonna see if we can try it out on. Even though I only have the A7S III right now, we're gonna see if we can try it out. So, and then I also have this new camera. This is the Zcam E2 M4, which is a small box-style cinema camera, not unlike this, only not quite as expensive as the Red. And I have been shooting with this, it's amazing. But it is, yeah, it is the other drone, the other camera that makes a good second live stream camera because the colors, oh boy, pretty close to match. But yeah, this is going to be super meta now. I don't know why my lens was not focusing. We'll try that again. Just makes it a lot like better, closer matching than the Blackmagic. So I'm going to be selling this Blackmagic, and it also fits my new really big FPV drone better than the Blackmagic does. So yeah, lots and lots of stuff. So let's see, say hi to people. So yeah, ask questions. I was gonna try and have it done, and I didn't quite make it, but I'm gonna be launching channel memberships. I've had a couple people ask, and I was like, man, what the heck? So it'll be like $2 a month to I think $5 or $6 a month. And the $2 a month, basically you get special little emoticon or icon, something or other. And then the larger one, you get the behind the scenes stuff, all the footage that doesn't make it into the normal videos that I go and shoot. So it is similar to the Patreon setup that I have, but I think I'm going to phase Patreon out and just do channel memberships and stuff like that. So Andre, I got you, man. I got you. So Richard Black, Super Stole, good to see you guys. Eddie Nunez, hey man, good to see you. Krishoff, Brian, let's see. Bob, hey. Alaska VFX, nice to see you. Andre, good to see you too. Last glance, hello. Sunrise and Lynn. Richmond Ariels, good to see you. Hamid, Ariel FX, good to see you all. Good to have you here. Dronescape, nice to have you here too. So I saw somebody, Bob had a question. I was watching a video by Connor Rickey, and he shows some red tint in the video of the Air 2S. Ed Ricker found the same thing in low light footage, but the photos were great. Are you seeing it? Well, okay, Bob. So it might be there. It depends on I think it probably depends on the profile that you shoot in. I shoot everything in D-Log because it just gives such a, it gives so much better color in the end. And so if there is a red tint, like by the time I'm done with the footage, I end up color grading it out. So yeah. Sorry, I've been running all day, literally up and down a mountainside to film some stuff for the drone course and to film some stuff, period. Including some stuff with the really big FPV drone, because I've been testing that, and it's fun and interesting and also terrifying. But I think, well, if you don't follow me on Instagram or Twitter, you probably haven't seen it, but I will play a little bit of, oh, maybe I will. Oh, crap. Or maybe I won't, because my other HDMI cable is right over there. So hold on a second. I'll be right back. I really should have done that with one of the other cameras going, so that you could have like, you know, watched me run toward it. All right, so let's see. This is the quick story I'm going to tell, and then we'll keep going. But first, I need to find the footage that I want to find. Ah, here we go. Okay, and this is super short. Nothing like incredible or stupendous or amazing or anything like that. But I hiked up to this place. Oh wait, this is not the right footage. I hiked up here to test. There it is. To test. Oh, geez, got too many buttons, too many things going on. To test this out on my big FPV drone, and that was the whole deal. But as part of that, like, I didn't want to just jump into flying that and my big FPV drone, so I tested it out with my 5-inch, and this is like what I did. Watch how close I came to. I did actually hit this branch right there, and then, but I was going fast enough it didn't matter. But so I was basically like finding the lines, kind of the paths that I wanted to hit with the big FPV drone when I got back up there, or when I sent it up, and then. It started raining and snowing, or snowing mostly with a little bit of rain mixed in. So I was like, kind of forget that. But it was fun. I did go back up today because I had to film some other stuff, and I did film with it. I just haven't had time to actually process the raw footage to be able to show it to you guys. So all you see is this really gross blech thing. Vortex, you picked up the Moment anamorphic lens. Vortex, did you get the one for the phone or the drone? Because the one for the phone is awesome. I love that one. The one for the drone is, it works okay, I guess. And David Casetta, Ken is different. So the thing you have to know about Ken is he's a cool guy, really neat guy, but he's a morning radio DJ show, and that's what he's done, I think, most of his life. And so if you understand that, like, then you know kind of, okay, that's where, his channel comes from, which makes more sense. But if you don't understand that, then it's like, what in the heck is going on? Because it's very different. But yeah. So let's see. Can we use the Pocket 2 as a studio cam? Hamid, you can, sort of, but you have to live stream from your phone from the Pocket. You have to live stream from there. You can't live stream from anywhere else. I think I know what the problem is. You guys get a whole behind the scenes look at all this stuff. Yeah, that's what the problem was. There we go. All right. I've been filming too many different things. Basically, it was I had a spot here that I had told the camera to set focus on, and now it's face tracking, so should be better. Yeah. Hey, Michael Blades FPV. Brad Elston, good to have you here too. Let's see. You got one for your phone? Awesome, Vortex. Yeah, that one is cool. That one is a lot of fun to play with. Really, really cool. Eddie, am I going to leverage the new DJI Hack video output to a PC? I'm not, Eddie. I thought about messing around with it, but I probably won't. I use the smart controller because anytime I use that sort of a thing, I need to be able to send to a video village, which is almost always like HDMI to a wireless transmitter to the video village. And the latency is so much less for the smart controller out. So I probably will just stick with that personally. Alaska VFX. It does, doesn't it? The other thing I did a bunch today too, actually. Let's see. Although mostly I'm just messing around with the hyperlapse mode on the Air 2S because I wanted to see, like, whoa, what it was capable of. And but like this is totally just the raw, like, there it is kind of thing. But it's funny how it makes it look like a tiny little toy town. And it's weird because even though I had all the settings are manual, it still flickers. And so I was like, I might as well just go all the way and like make it that old timey flickery film feel. But yeah. Bob, that is Independence Mine, which is an old mining town. It was a mine in the 1800s into the early 1900s. It stopped during World War II for a bit, and then it started again in the 50s for just a little bit, and then shut down finally in the 1950s. Superstole. You got the 360X2 for a wing camera. Great wing camera. Need tips for editing. Oh, I might have to think about doing that. Yeah, Keith, Superstole, Keith uses I gave it to him as a wing camera all the time. In fact, he's tried it in some other places too. And once it fell off into grass, and he recovered it, and it didn't break, no damage other than like some scuffs and stuff. But yeah, it was, we were impressed. Sunrise, you saw Ed's video with the purple mostly on the left, Bob, but haven't seen the other one. So I did see Ed Ricker's video about it, and to me that looks like what do they call it? It's the amplifier for the image sensor. That looks like that's what that looks like. The A7S2 had the same problem on the sides, especially in super low light. It would glow off the sides, and that was the amplifier for the sensor. But yeah. So I did see that. And I would say that the footage on the Air 2S does lean toward the magenta purple side a little bit. So if you know that, it's easy to correct, but it does lean toward that side a bit. I have noticed that. Yeah. So, hey, review? Yikes, Super Soul. Yeah, that was like, What frame is my big camera drone, David? So my big camera drone, my big FPV drone is the Shendrone's Sicario. And it was built specifically to fly these sort of box cameras, which is why I have another box camera over there now. Am I in focus? Oh, I am. Hey, I guessed at focus on that because it's all manual lens. And that's what it's made for. So Morocco. That's awesome. All right. At last I got the Mini 2. Oh yeah, you got the Mini 2. It's awesome, review. The Mini 2 is such a great drone. And I'm going to do it. I feel like people are getting tired of drone stuff, but I'm going to do a video about like each one, the Mini 2, the Air 2, the Air 2S, the Mavic 2 Pro. Probably stop there because the Inspire 2, like if you're going to buy an Inspire 2, you know why you're buying an Inspire. There. Now. Good grief. I promise I'm not using Wirecast. Like, but just everything, like, my computer didn't stop. My computer was fine. All the internet in my house just quit. So I had to really quickly start everything. So anyway, good to be back. Thanks for sticking around, everybody. So, who wants to see this lens? Let's try that again. Maybe it's the lens. Dun, dun, dun. That's what it was. I wasn't supposed to reveal it yet. Tamron shut me down. Goodness gracious. All right. So, yeah, no, Jason, our internet here, Alaskan internet is fun. It does its own thing. And so I'm sorry. I was talking about the Inspire 2, and you know why you'd buy an Inspire 2. So now you really do, because you just listened to me talk about it for the last 5 minutes on loop. So this is the 11 to 24. Now, so the deal is, this is an APS-C lens. It is not for full frame. But it sure is cute. Look at how cute that is. Get the little lens hood. Aww. I'm really curious to see how this thing looks. So I'm going to put it on my A7S III, and then I haven't tried this thing out. Like, this is the first time I've opened it and everything. So then we'll see how it does on the A7S III, which is not an APS-C camera, but whatever. We're only streaming in 1080p. So this should be fun. Let's see if we can break the internet a little more. Right? Okay, there we go. Turn that on. And then I need to up this a bit. There we go. All right. So this is like, there's a huge vignette, obviously, because I haven't zoomed in at all. But this is like, that's the lens. And this should be, oops, not that button, this button. This should be the equivalent of a, ooh, I can hit this at 1.3. Look at that. So this should be the equivalent of a like 15, 16 millimeter on a full frame to a what would that be, 20, 35. So it's like a 16 to 35, but on APS-C, Sony APS-C. Man, it does look good. I mean, at f2.8. So I know it's a little too dark. Let me bump that exposure up a bit more. There, that's a little better. But then if you zoom out with it, jeez, look at that. Hey, that's really, really wide. Still looks nice though. I can't tell if there's any yeah, so I'm not like, if I mean, this is what it would look like on an APS-C camera, because I'm not quite all the way in at APS-C. There. So that's what it would look like on an APS-C camera. Right there. Man, it looks good. Like, it's straight. So this is the thing. When you get these really, really wide angle lenses, what you'll notice a lot of times is, I mean, boy, I did not prepare for this, but straight lines like this over here. See that light? That looks straight there. If you have a bad lens with a lot of distortion, it'll bow like a GoPro. And that is not bowing. It's looking pretty straight. So is this. This stand right here that you can barely see, that looks pretty straight. For a 16 millimeter lens on APS-C, dang, man. That's impressive. And then this, what you see here, that's the monitor. I can get that out of the way. Oof, there we go. That's the monitor. Wow, I feel like I'm so far away. Hi, folks. So, very little barrel distortion. Like, I mean, obviously, out at the edges here, it's going to warp things out because it's stretching the image massively. But yeah, really, very little distortion. That's impressive. Tamron, good job. Like a 16 to 35, but on APS-C, this lens is going to be fantastic for photos and for filming stuff. I mean, dang, that looks good. You also get to see all of the mess. So let's pull back in here a little bit, shall we? Let's see. 20, 35. I want to go right into. Is that about where we go? I think so. I can't tell. That's about 24, isn't it? I feel like that's about 24. So, I know, right? It's like, wow. But that's a nice lens, Tamron. Jeez, Tamron's really hitting it out of the park. Yeah, especially if you go over. I mean, it's not too bad now because it's all zoomed in. But if you go way out, you're like, whoa, everything gets all stretchy. It looks all weird. So, I wonder what the close focusing distance is. We'll go back into there. That feels better. So, 16 to 35 basically on APS-C. Yeah, this is going to fit really well with the 17 to 70 because it just, yeah, it's fantastic. So, yeah, you get those really better now, right? Better? Unless I do that, then it looks really weird. So I'm curious how close, because I have a feeling like, oh yeah, look at that. Like that's 3 inches away from the lens, or 4. Yeah, about 3 or 4. And you can see right here, the part that's in focus, that's 3 or 4 inches away from the lens. Not bad. Good job, Tamron. Good job. So I'll be doing a full test and review of this lens, of course. I'm going to switch back to my usual lens here. because I like the f1.4 aperture. Holy crap, that's bright. Whoops. Let's go back down to there. Oh, not that far. Okay, there we go. There. Whew. Yeah, so this is the 24mm G Master lens at f1.4. But this lens, Tamron, they really I'm impressed. This is a great lens. Hey, look at that. I was guessing right. 16mm on this would be about 24mm. Really good job. So, and just for fun, just for kicks, it's not an internal zoom. It's an external zoom, which means, if you balance on a gimbal, horizontally, you'd want to balance it probably right in there, because then you'll be about halfway in, halfway out. So, but I mean, still, that's not very far. But this is the 17-28 from Tamron. So it's, pull this ND filter off, take the cap off, back cap off. So here we go. I know all the non-camera people are just who cares? But size-wise, that's very small and compact. That's a really, really impressive work from Tamron. They've been knocking it out of the park on their stuff lately. Yeah, absolutely awesome. So I'll be doing a full-on test and review with this thing here in the next few days. It'll be up on the channel next week sometime. But then also I'll be taking this with me to show this and the 17-70 lens together, as your only lenses with an APS-C camera. I'll be filming that next week and showing kind of use cases, exploring an old World War II fort with this down on the coastline in the Seward area. So let's see, am I caught up on the chat? Drippy Music. If you have a DJI Mini 2 and you're recording for profit, do you still have to get your Part 107? Yes, you do, especially if you're in the United States, because the FAA doesn't distinguish a weight class that you can use commercially. It's basically if you're using a drone, an unmanned aerial system that furthers a business. So it's very broad, the terms, but if you're using it for profit to make money, or if you're handing the footage to somebody who's using it to make money, you should have your Part 107. And I highly recommend anybody get their Part 107 anyway, because it gives you a great understanding of airspace, and it just takes you into a whole new realm. I like that view. I like this camera. I'm surprised how close this is the straight out of colors on this camera here. How close they match up to this. It's not bad. Not bad at all. So yeah, you need your Part 107. I would get it anyway, even if you weren't going to use it for profit, just because once you have it, you have it. The online recurrent test is really easy. And yeah, and then you don't have to worry about it. So, and if you want to go to, let's see, Sunrise, can you put the Remote Pilot 101 thing in there and Ken's discount code? That would be awesome. Hey, Unbox Warehouse. Thanks, Fern. I appreciate that. So yeah, review of the Tamron 11-20 coming soon. And if you missed it, go back 10-15 minutes. You'll see this lens in action, actually, on a camera. Very cool. Let's see. Recording real estate, definitely, like realtors and stuff. They need their Part 107, and for real estate work, you need Part 107 for sure. But like I said, I would highly recommend you get it anyway, because it opens up a lot of doors and possibilities for you. Michael, is it possible to use a 10 or 12-inch tablet in place of a phone to get a better view of things on the drone for older folks who need a magnifying glass? I mean, I'm not going to say how old, but I did just turn another year older, and I need reading glasses now. Actually, I've needed reading glasses when I've been building drones for the last 2 years, and Keith and I don't know if Brian's on here, but and if he needs reading glasses when he's soldering stuff, but yeah, it was like, oh dang, yeah, I can't solder drones anymore without reading glasses. So it is, Mike. I made a DJI Mini 2 accessories video. And in that video, I show a mount that will accept a large iPad, and it's great. Flying with a big iPad is really nice and really fun. It just makes it really easy to see everything, and especially if it's nice and bright, then yeah, you can see it all. So first name, what do I use to edit my videos? I use Final Cut Pro 10 and a few plugins that I've purchased, and some plugins that were free. Spray Soar, hey. Matt at War. Just got the DJI Air 2S. You're excited? Just got to register with the FAA and got your temporary 107 certificate. Dude, congratulations. That's awesome. Fantastic. And good job. Yeah, it's great. The Part 107. I just passed my recurrent test the end of April, and yeah, I'm super glad that I have a Part 107 still. if that makes sense. Thank you, Sunrise, for putting that in there. So if anybody's looking to get a Part 107, Sunrise put a link in there, Sunrise Water Media, remotepilot101.com, and you can use the discount code Heron18. I get nothing from it, but like you get a course for life, you get the recurrent course. They're keeping everything up to date a lot, and if you want a discount, there's a discount code. So there you go. 41, older than that, Alaska, VFX filmer, but you're close. Jeez. How many drones have I lost? A few. I can count the number of drones that I've lost on one hand still. Brian Silver Fox. Yes, that's right. Unbox Warehouse, you are? Dang it, man. I've been trying to get a hold of one of those to review, and I was talking with Autel, and then I think around the time Chinese New Year started, everything dropped off, and I don't know. I haven't had much luck since, so I probably need to send him another email and just go, hey, remember me? Because I would like to test and review that drone. So good luck. I hope you have fun with it. It looks very cool. Spin Fast, you're a running gun shooter with the FX3 and you just own a 17-28 Tamron and an 85. What would I get for a general shooting next? Does the 28-200 make sense? Spin Fast, absolutely it does, except for in really low light conditions. Although the FX3 does phenomenally well in low light because it's just like the A7S3. The 28-200, like that, it's a great lens for tons of stuff. And so, yeah, if you don't want to spend an additional like $2,000 to get the 28-75 and then the 70-180, then the 28-200 would be the route I would go. For me, I think I would do that. The 70-28 I use a lot, and then I also use the 70-180 a lot. I don't use the 28-75 that much. I've been playing with it a little more again lately just to kind of switch some stuff up on the channel here. But yeah, so that's what I do. Fern, the Phantom 4 Pro is a great drone, takes great video. I mean, the Vivid, you can always add saturation in post, and I do that sometimes too. I would probably lean toward the Phantom. If you're going to do that, I would lean toward the Phantom 4 Pro. But if you can wait a few months, if you can wait, because the likelihood the Mavic 2 or the Mavic 3 or the 3 Pro or God almighty, who knows what DJI is going to call it, but the next iteration is going to come out in the next few months. Like, my prediction is August. July or August is my guess, is when it comes out. Probably August. But and so if you can wait, I would wait and see what that does, because that'll be great. See you, Sunrise, and thank you. Have a great night. Walmart tablet with your Mavic Mini, but you had to make a mount from scratch. Oh, wow. Dang. Do you unbox? I can't remember who I got to look back on my emails because I was having like regular conversations with somebody and then we just kind of dropped off the face of the planet. And maybe I missed. I mean I have been getting a lot of emails lately, and it's possible, very possible, that I missed a reply or something. So it just hit me today. I was like, oh yeah, what whatever happened with that? Because we were talking about it, and then everything just kind of went quiet. So anyway, I need to reach back out to him. So, but I would like to try it and test it. David Casada, yeah, I am saying that right, I think, right? Yeah. How would you stabilize a camera on the transom of a sailboat during a race? It's usually wet and rough. So David, I would, for something like that, I would use a GoPro. I would get the GoPro Hero 9 and the Max lens mod and mount that back there, because then you can go in and have it keep the horizon perfectly level. If you want to do that, if that's what you want. The other option would be to get the Osmo Pocket, or the Pocket 2, because it's no longer an Osmo, whatever that means, DJI. Get the Pocket 2 and the waterproof case and mount that on there and do it that way. So, yeah. But the GoPro, I mean, either one of those methods would work, but that's what I would do, because anything else you mount is going to be like, especially if you're racing in salt water, like it's going to be rough on anything. So that's what I would do. Thank you, Spinfast. I appreciate that, man. 2 pounds. Thank you very much. Let's see. Stefan, I'm not going to try the rest of that, but Stefan, looking for an outdoor vlogging lens, which one do I think is better? Rokinon 18mm 2.8 or the Tamron 20mm 2.8? Oh. Ooh, that's a tough one, man. Yeah. Here's the issue with the Tamron Prime lens. From what I've heard, it's a great photo lens and it works for vlogging, but the issue is it has some noise from the autofocus motors. They're a little noisy. And so what I would do, I would probably lean toward the Rokinon a little bit, unless you're going to like manually focus, especially the 18mm. 18mm is a great focal length for that. The problem is the Rokinon has more distortion than the Tamron does. So it's, yeah. But I think I would still lean toward the Rokinon a little bit. Bikram, let's see. As a content creator just starting, top 5 things I would recommend for starting your YouTube journey. Okay, here it is. Use whatever gear you have and make a lot of content. If you have a phone, like don't buy anything. Go out, use your phone or use whatever you've got now and just start making videos and editing videos and putting videos together. That's number 1. Yeah, so make content is number 1. Number 2 is don't buy gear yet. Like just use whatever you've got and make 100 videos just using the gear you have. That's 2. Let's see, 1, 2. 3 would be don't worry about whether people are watching or not or subscribers. Just make the content you want, like stuff that makes you happy and excites you, because that will help for sure. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh man, am I going to make it to 5? 3, 4. Let's see. Oh, yeah, there's my 3 top ones. I guess number 4 would be if you're going to buy for your first piece of gear, buy something that helps your audio out. And number 5 would be buy something, get a lighting that helps you look better. And I mean, the last thing, it sounds ridiculous, but the last thing I would purchase would be a camera, lenses, stuff like that. But I would start using whatever you've got and then go in that order. Make tons of content, make 100 videos using whatever you got. Use the gear you have. I don't remember what number 3 was. Oh, just make a bunch. Don't worry about the subscribers. Don't worry about whether people are watching or not. Make the stuff that you really enjoy making and then improve your audio and improve your lighting. Those are the things I would do. So top 5 gadgets. Lume Cube lights are great. I don't know if you can get them easily where you are. For audio, anything from Rode or from, I mean, DD is great, but I don't know if you can get them where you are. Also, like this, Hollyland is more, maybe a little easier for you to get wherever you are. The Lark 150 is a nice little wireless system. And then, yeah, for those things. So a light of some sort, a microphone, a good little microphone of some sort, a nice little tripod, and a clamp or some way to attach your phone or whatever to it. And that's what I would do. Thanks, Unbox Warehouse. I will look for that for sure. Yeah, definitely. And I appreciate it a lot. So, can you correct the distortion in post? Yes, you can, Stefan. I prefer not to if I don't have to. And sometimes cameras will have a built-in profile to correct it anyway. And the 18 millimeter is not as bad as like the 14 millimeter. The 14 millimeter has a lot of distortion that you have to correct in post, but you can correct it in post. So, David Kusada, thank you very much for the super chat. I really appreciate that. And I'm the first person you super chatted? Wow, dude, thank you. I appreciate that a lot. Yeah, thank you very much. It's great. I mean, the super chats aren't necessary, but I'm going to be honest and say that I always really do appreciate super chats. They help me get to the places that I go. They help pay for coffee, which I like, and get me to and coffee helps me get to the places or get back from the places I go. And so, yeah, I appreciate that. Unbox Warehouse. Oh, yes, the Pico mic. That's a great one. The Pico mic is a really, really good one. I forgot all about that. I haven't personally reviewed it, but I've seen a lot of other people work with it, and that's a really good one too. So, last glance. Where do I get my music content from a tiny YouTube channel and looking for cinematic copyright free? So, last glance, if you don't want to pay for anything at all, the YouTube music library. Just don't bother with anything else. Anything else will have problems eventually. Like, I get my music from Epidemic Sound and Artlist, and both of those I like. They both have great music. They're both about the same pricing wise. But they have like slightly different kinds of music. Now that being said, in the past month I've had, and Artlist knows, and they've been working on it, but there's been a bunch of false copyright strikes on like 1 or 2 songs that Artlist has for a lot of people. And it's basically some scam artists out there trying to collect YouTube ad revenue by just going and saying, I own this music, and YouTube, that stuff should be paid to me. And so you have to dispute it. It'll get cleared up, and then, it goes from there. But yeah. The A7III Mini, that sounds like I would be very, very curious to see that. Super chats, helicopter fuel, Unbox Warehouse. Yes, that's right. Takes a lot of super chats to fuel up a helicopter. I will tell you that, because man, the helicopters burn through fuel fast. Yeah, so let's see. Bikram, go to Unbox Warehouse channel and look up the Pico mic, because he has done some really good reviews on them. Yeah, and Bush Plane Fuel. That's right, Bob. Me too on Artlist. Superstill, have you gotten some copyright strikes on some Artlist songs, or are you using Artlist songs, period? Is that what you're saying? I'm curious about that. Danny, what is my technique to remove the sound of the drone's propellers when I film and it's near me and we can clearly hear your voice? This is going to sound ridiculous, but my technique is, let's see, let me switch to this channel. This, right here. This is the DJI D3 Pro. Come on. There it is. This is the DJI D3 Pro. This is the mic I use, so it's a very focused pickup pattern. And that's all. I don't do any noise. I don't do any like noise reduction unless I absolutely have to. I have really good software for it, but I don't like to use noise reduction software at all if I don't have to. And so that's what I do. I put this on my camera. I stand about 18 inches to 2 feet away. Well, 2 to 3 feet away, and record. And if the drone is, more than, if it's like 10 feet away or more, you really won't hardly hear it in there at all, because this has a focus pickup pattern and will really help. The other thing you can do is, it's over there. Anyway, you can use a small wireless system like this and put the lapel mic right here. And because the mic is so much closer to you than it is the drone, it'll help. But this, believe it or not, will actually pick up a little more noise than the shotgun mic will. So that's what I do, and it works well. Copyright. Yeah, so I was emailing back and forth with them about it, and I was like, look, guys, come on, what is the deal? Like, I've had four or five strikes in the last month, and they wrote me back, and their thing is always like, just as soon as you get a copyright strike, go in and dispute it, because you bought the licensing rights for it, and then that kind of puts a hold on everything. And even if they and then they send their lawyer, you let them know, and they send their lawyers out to do whatever. But the problem is it's scam artists basically trying to collect YouTube ad revenue. And I hope YouTube figures out a way to fix this, because it's getting annoying. But they did they've taken care of it every single time. And if you dispute it right away, if you dispute it immediately, then YouTube doesn't pay that person any ad revenue. YouTube holds it and gives that person 30 days to show that they own the copyrights to it. And they have to prove it. Like, they have to prove their copyright to it, which they can't. So, it goes from there. But yeah, it's been annoying. So Arliss told me that there's been a group of people or a organization of some sort somewhere internationally that's been doing it intentionally, trying to get ad revenue that way, which makes it annoying. Danny, is it something that can be easily removed in post? You can. I mean, most video editing software has noise reduction, something built into it now that you can do, and it does a really good job. Oh, David, this is the Hollyland Lark 150. I just did a review of it a couple weeks ago. Great little wireless system. I'm probably gonna, I don't really need this, so I'm probably gonna sell it or give it away or something. I don't know. Haven't decided yet, but it is a really nice little system. So, Kevin, the basic filmmaker, is here. Hi, Kevin. Let's see, Ghoulie G, having problems when you take videos at 24 FPS. Videos don't look cinematic. They actually make you dizzy. A lot of movements, horizontal pan, trying to improvement. So, Ghoulie, I would do two things. One, slow your pans way down, but then you want to make all your movements really slow and really, especially your pan movements, because for some reason digital cameras have a really difficult time with pan more than anything else, and it has to do with the way the sensor reads out to get the picture. But then the other thing you can do to fix that is film in 30 frames a second, and it does make a difference. I mean, I hate to say it, but it does. So, and that's what I do. And then always make sure your shutter speed is 2 times your frame rate. So if you're filming at 24, it should be 1/48. Most cameras let you do 1/50, but if you're filming at 30, then 1/60, and that will help a lot. Fashionably late. We're working on a video and got lost. That's okay. That's all right. You actually just missed. I unboxed and tested out. This is the Tamron 11-20, which is for APS-C cameras for Sony. And as soon as I started unboxing it, the whole stream crashed. Everything froze. All my internet up here just stopped. And I had to run around the house restarting everything and restarting my computer to get it all to work again. So you missed that sort of fun, which was yay. Yeah, anyway, but today, look at this, Kevin. I'm stepping up. Like, I've got the product camera right here, Sony's EV1 for the win. I love this little camera for an indoor studio camera. And then this is the Zcam E2. on my iFootage slider with a Sirui anamorphic 35mm lens on it. Just like beautiful. And then back to here. Let's see. I don't know why my camera keeps drifting to that side. There we go. Okay. Sorry about that, everybody. Mike, love the content. Enjoy when I'm on with Ken. Oh, thank you. Am I from Alaska originally? Yes, Alaska is where I've lived most of my adult life. So, yeah, Gule, I would slow your pans down because you're probably getting some rolling shutter too, which can be a problem for panning left to right. It's where it should have a straight line when you move left to right, but because of rolling shutter, they'll bend and warp, and so that will help. Nice review. That's cool. Unbox Warehouse. Simple ways to fly your drone close and then have a cameraman flawlessly get into position, start filming in front of the drone, and then seamlessly match the shots in After Effects. No drone sounds. That's right, Unbox Warehouse. That's another way to do it. I don't do that because I don't have a cameraman with me any of the time. I mean, Keith is with me sometimes, or Brian comes with me sometimes, but I also am not like, here, take up all your free time and film me because, this is all about me. Anyway. Kevin, what's my usual frame rate when filming drone videos? 30 FPS. I pretty much film at 30 FPS all the time. Unless a client, the only time I do that is when a client asks me if they want 24 FPS footage or something like that, then I will shoot in 24 or 60, whatever they want. But yeah, for me, for YouTube stuff, I always film at 30 FPS on drones. And then I can slow it down to match my 24, or I can conform it if I need to. And then if I forget to conform it on a 24 FPS video, everybody in the comments goes, the video's so stuttery and jerky. And it is what it is. Mini 2, how far should you push it? Keep it in your sight, especially that because it doesn't have obstacle avoidance. Definitely. Kevin, Zcam E2, yes sir. That's what is going when I'm not flying a red camera on my big FPV drone. That's what's going to be going on it. Partly because I've had this and I love it and it's great, but it's really difficult to match the color with Sony. Whereas the Zcam E2 is 90-something% of the way there just out of the box. Plus, it's a box camera, and my new big FPV drone is built for box cameras. And the first time I flew it, I was like, "Holy crap! This thing handles so well." And then I was like, "That's it. I don't want to fly my other big FPV drone, which is built for this camera, anymore because of the way the new one flies so much better." So I'm going to sell my big FPV drone. I'm going to sell this Blackmagic Pocket 4K. And stick with the Zcam E2. Plus, the Zcam E2 right now, this is a Micro Four Thirds mount, but I have a mount that just arrived about 10 seconds ago that will convert this to be able to natively mount Sony lenses to it. Now, I don't know if autofocus won't work, but I don't know if I can do aperture control and stuff. They might have to be all manual Sony lenses, but I'm okay with that because pretty much everything I do with this camera will be manual cinema stuff anyway, and the FPV drone. Let's see. Stefan, any way to mount my DJI Ronin SC to your car? Sony A7C 35mm Rokinon 1.8 suction cups or cup holder mounts. Oh, ooh. On the outside, do suction cups. Massively strong suction cups and no other way. For the inside, I would do the cup holder mount, but also get a stabilizer arm so that it's stable a little bit. The times I've done stuff, I've literally just used my tripod and braced it and gaff taped it to the inside of my car. Not recommended, but it worked. Panning. Usually do pans quick. Learn to do a slow count. 1, 2, 3 to keep it fluid. Yes, that's right, Kevin. Yeah. Keep it. And the big thing with panning is keep the movement consistent. Don't be kind of all over the place. Keep it consistent. Emerge with Mason. Question: what are the cons of using APS-C lens on a full frame camera? You don't get the full width of a full frame camera, but as we saw earlier. With this lens here is an APS-C lens. This is the Tamron 11-20, which is built for Sony APS-C. But if I stick it on my A7S III, like so, and then I have to zoom in because it's an APS-C lens. So there we go. All right. And there, oh, that's right. I also have to bump my ISO way up. There we go. So that's now a 16 millimeter on an APS-C camera, basically. 16 to 35 is what this lens is. So here's the deal. Because this lens is super wide, obviously you still get tons of width. And you do get the f2.8 because you're on a full frame camera. So as far as low light works, the f-stop still gives you the same amount of low light. You know, but your depth of field is less. Like this is f2.8, and even if I pull it all the way into like 24 millimeters, which would be right about there, see how out of, like the back is not as out of focus as it was with my other 24 millimeter. That's the part of the problem with APS-C lenses on full frame. You don't get quite the same depth of field. But yeah, it's, you know, I'm really impressed by this lens. Can't wait to go test it in the next few days after I finish my drone course, so Kevin can quit yelling at me. Actually, yeah, we'll leave that there. So, oh wait, I also have to do this. And, whoops. Yada, yada, yada. Okay. There. So now, this is a 24 millimeter at f2.8, but you see how the background is a little more blurry because it's a full frame lens on a full frame camera. Yeah. I hope that helps. Jamie. Oh, thanks. Awesome. I'm glad you're enjoying the Air 2S. Review. What is the graph showing on screen? What graph? What graph? Oh, is it that thing? That over there? That's a light. I don't know what graph you're talking about. Anyway. Any ETL? Kevin? Next week. So, next week. Because I want you to go through it before we live stream. And so in 2 weeks, I'll be live streaming with Kevin the Basic Filmmaker talking about drones and the new drone course that I'm releasing and stuff like that. And the drone course, this drone course is basically how to fly drones. It takes you from, like, if you don't know anything, you just bought a drone, you've never flown a drone before, through to where hopefully if you do everything in the course, you'll be relatively competent to fly a drone and, you know, get good footage of yourself or of whatever you want to film. It's not a drone course necessarily to, like, here's how you take the test to get your license. It's not that, although we'll be covering some rules and stuff. And then it's not necessarily really focused on, like, image quality, to how to get the best image quality and all that. But there'll be some stuff in there too. So anyway, but it's coming. So Kevin, you'll have access to it next week at some point. I've made a promise. Now I have to keep it. And I made it live. Hey, Steve Carpenter. Welcome, sir. John Burnett, how are you doing? What action camera would I use to record you going through backwoods trails, mounting them on your truck? Man. Why my camera always does that? Let's see. I mean, I hate to say this, John, like, because GoPros are good. I don't feel like they're innovating much, and so I would get an Osmo Action. $200, really cheap. You can get an Osmo Action, and then you're not going to cry as much if you do smash it. So that's what I would do. But otherwise, GoPro for sure. That's it. Those two. Yeah. So, and John Burnett, depending on where you are in the world, you might be able to find good deals on, like, GoPro 8s. Sometimes, like, Costco, I think, is selling GoPro Hero 8s for a good deal right now. Stuff like that. So yeah. Peter McLennan, good old days. Oh, the old days, not the good old days. 24 FPS film. The rule of thumb was for smooth pans was still out. At least 4 seconds for an object to travel across screen. Boom, Peter. Thank you so much. And yes, that's what I didn't have any of that direct information, but that's what I discovered. Like, the more you pan, the more you want to slow things down to make that pan look good and feel good. Yeah. It does still apply. Unbox Warehouse. Oh, my stream health. Oh, this stuff here. That's all the stream stuff from YouTube there. That's what that is. So this, like, it shows, I think this is how many people's here. Over here, it's like shows the health and stuff like that. Playbacks, watch time, all that sort of thing. Let's see. Blue graph, screen right, so good. You want to know too. That's what that is. There we go. So that's true, Steve Carpenter. Yeah, so John, I would, oh, dang, my product camera just went down because, oops, I don't want to do that. No, stop. Because it quit charging. It's coming review next week. I've been working hard on it for months, or what feels like months. It has been months. So yeah, it's coming. So, and John Burnett, Steve Carpenter makes an excellent point. GoPro does have fantastic stabilization. So I would, the only thing about the 8 is it's no interchangeable lenses. And I don't like the 7 because it hangs up too much. So but I would get the GoPro Hero 8. I wouldn't get the GoPro Hero 9 because it's just so expensive right now. I would just see if you can buy a Hero 8. That's what I would do. Tommy Boy. Yes, I do streams. I do streams every Wednesday night at this time. But before we go, I have to clarify that next week I am going to try my best to stream. But I might literally, I mean, I will be outside. It will be on the beach in Seward, Alaska. So I should have cell signal and stuff. But the only thing I'll be able to use to stream with is my phone because I'll be out camping with my family. So next week's live stream will be live from the beach. However, depending on the tides, it might literally be live from the beach as I'm walking to where we go to camp as a family. So you don't want to miss next week's live stream. I'll say that much because it should be very, very fun. The caveat to that is I am not going to be able to, I can't, like, because I have to use the YouTube app, I cannot, at least I haven't figured out how to. If somebody knows how, tell me on Twitter. But I can't, like, pre-schedule the stream with the YouTube app that I know of. Maybe I can, but I think I tried last time and I couldn't figure out how to do it. So it will be very much like I will stream next week at the same time that I normally do on my phone on the beach as I'm hiking to where we're going to be camping, or maybe just sitting on the beach if we get there early enough and the tides will work out right. But that is the deal. So next week should be a lot of fun. Unbox Warehouse, the ZV-1 product showcase is wicked fast. It is. It's so quick. And it's so, this thing's not working. I don't know where my other battery pack went either. But anyway, it doesn't matter. The stream's pretty much done. So it just is, it's fantastic. It's a great, great thing. I love the ZV-1 for the product showcase. It's really nice. Normally I have it overhead, but today, because I was switching lenses, I wanted to have, like, another angle where I could, that's not working now, to where I could talk to the camera still and, like, as I switch lenses. Anyway, it worked out. Let's see, Steve Carpenter. Let's bang on the like thing more. I like the video. Thank you, Kevin. Hey, Jake, which is the best, Mavic Air 2 or Air 2S? Which one do I recommend? Well, I just did a whole video about that. It came out this morning about comparing the Air 2 and the Air 2S. But the synopsis is, if you want the best image quality and you want the latest and greatest, the Air 2S for sure. And especially if you want to use my affiliate links in that video, then definitely the Air 2S. If you want to save a few dollars, the Air 2 is great. If it's your first drone and you want to see if you like flying drones, I still recommend the Mini 2. The Mini 2 is a great first drone. So... awesome, Tommy Boy. Good luck. Study well, and good luck. You should do great. Yes, that's right, Steve. I saw that. Oh, that's the Hero 9. Oh, okay, yeah, then I would do that, John, because the Hero 9 has a replaceable lens, good stabilization, plus you get the few extras at Costco, so that's a pretty good deal. Kevin, I like how you think, sir. Live stream from the beach. Okay, Peter, whoa. Beach, like, is a very relative term for Alaska, but it will be from the seaside. Yes, it will be from the ocean seaside. So yeah, should be fun though, and hopefully the weather is good and it's nice out. Please pray the weather is good for us. Kevin, thank you for the super sticker for coffee. I appreciate that a lot, man. So, all right, that's gonna do it for this stream. Thank you all for tuning in. Review of this lens test coming soon. And yeah, I'm excited to try it out. I really kind of impressed with the performance of it on my A7S III so far. But I will be doing it with an actual APS-C camera when I do the test and review, so it's, right. And yeah, in the meantime, there's other stuff coming. I don't remember what, including a drone course, which should be available here in about 2 weeks for everybody, unless you're Kevin, because he's special. And he gets to try it out. He gets to be my guinea pig, basically. So, but other than that, thank you all for being part of this channel. Thank you for supporting me and what I'm doing and being part of this community. I really appreciate it. You all are amazing, fantastic, awesome people. Be back same time, same place. Well, no, same time, different place next week. Until then, be safe, be smart, and we'll see you again soon in the next video. Cheers, everybody.